Hello, and welcome to Chyte Chats, channel where I, Chyte, ramble on about whatever's on my mind. Today's episode, I'm talking about Glitch Productions, which means we're getting into Pomni Jackson. We're getting the digital circuit, yeah. And I'll get to that. Because I know that's like the whole thing that Glitch is famous for these days. If I'm gonna talk about Glitch, I'm gonna take a step back. I want to talk about the beginnings because I've been following Glitch for a very long time. So if anyone, I imagine everyone knows what Glitch is. Like Digital Circus is, it's massive. It's everywhere. But I originally found out about the people behind Glitch, Kevin and Luke from SMG4, which is a channel that I think was what Luke started. Yeah, I got pictures. Just I opened his Google and it's just him being mauled to death by a shark. All right. Anyways, I found Luke through SMG4, and SMG4 is just kind of that channel that back then it was mainly Mario 64, just like skits and like I don't know how to spoofs, maybe? I don't know what the right word is, how to describe it. But pretty much it's just Mario 64, and he would record just the wacky stuff that Mario or whatever his other characters, like SMG4 or anyone that was in the 64 castle would get up to. I found him back when he was still titling things in a way that YouTube doesn't allow anymore. And I grew up with the series. It was just him making dumb stuff with Mario and SMG4, and it was funny. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of memes, like YouTube poop kind of humor, but I enjoyed it. I watched it for quite a while. Eventually, he moved on from like Mario 64 and got in some like Gmod stuff with like actual good models, not just using 64, like the blocky kind of Marios. And you can tell that he was passionate about this and enjoyed making these weird videos just about jokes and memes. And over the years, he started expanding into more OCs, new characters, and making storylines, which I thought were pretty good. Like, I think the first one he ever did was like when the whole Waluigi and Smash bits were going on, of like, yeah, Waluigi's never gonna be in Smash, and then Waluigi is a villain who takes rejection powers. It's weird to explain it, but it was a good series that he was going on for over a decade. I did start like falling out of his content eventually. It started to see more of like slop, mainly, not like AI slop, just like using clickbaity kind of like YouTube kids kind of humor. And like, no offense to him, I know he's got to make money and to get some views. I just wasn't really a big fan of it. So when he started taking the whole like kind of episodic, like he would do weekly uploads, the more episodic things that he would do, and went into more overlying storylines. I think a lot of fans at the time were like, oh, this is cool. Like, it's like we're getting storylines and arcs and stuff like that. But you can tell that he wanted to do more with that. Like, more than just have arcs or something like that. Like, you can tell he wanted to do something bigger. eventually in like the SMG4 story, a new character Tari was introduced, and I was like, "Oh, this is a cool new character." And then eventually we got a whole show around Tari. Now this is the start of Glitch. Actually, when did this come? When did Tari's like Meta Runners is the show? When did that come out? I want to say it was like around COVID time. Let's see. Okay, so season 1 was 5 years ago, which is crazy. And like, sure, the animation. Okay, 6 years ago. It was 6 years ago. It was on his channel, his SMG4 channel. But he had some big people backing this. Like he started a whole company called Glitch. He had Epic Games backing him for some money, and also part of Australia. I don't know it's what like part of what Screen Australia. I want to say. I don't know what they exactly do because obviously I'm not in Australia, but they backed it as well, and it was a pretty interesting show. I think it had 3 seasons, if I remember correctly. Like looking at season 1 right here, 2 hours, which is insane. And sure, the animation is a little dated going back to this now. It was cool. It was a fully like animated show that Luke and his brother Kevin, who I think he got brought on as well, kind of like the start of that. Or I don't know if I don't remember if Kevin started with or helped with SMG4 or he got brought in with Glitch. I don't really remember. But they made these. So they worked on Meta Runner. They made Meta Runner. I think season 1 and 2. They had some kind of like spin-offs of that show that they wanted to do. I think because I think they had Theo, if I remember, like is one of the characters in Meta Runners, and they had like a pilot for a spin-off of him. I don't think that ever went anywhere, or if it might have just been like a, hey, this is what our animation company can do, and try to like pitch it to people. But Meta Runner was pretty good. I remember enjoying it and watching it when it all came out. It was also like a lot more depressing, kind of like more dark out there. Like it wasn't like a happy ending, if I remember correctly. I guess spoilers if no one's watched it. I remember like ending of season 2 was pretty massive. I don't exactly remember what happened. I think someone got shot or something. But then everyone's like, "Damn, what's going to happen with season 3?" In which I think at the time we were told season 3 was going to be the last, so we knew something big was going to happen. But and while this was going on, Luke was also doing SMG4 at the same time, which props to him. I don't know how he, like, obviously there's a team on both sides because SMG4 got pretty big. So he's obviously having his own team to help with the like Gmod rigging and animations and whatnot he would do. Same thing with Glitch. Glitch is a massive company these days with all the animation team and working on multiple shows at once. But I think back then everyone was just working on Meta Runner. Like I think he had 2 teams for Meta Runner and SMG4. Again, I don't know. I'm just yapping. So don't take what I'm saying with like, oh, I got it from this show right here, this episode right here. So after Meta Runner, like I think it was like season 2 ended. Another character from SMG4 was Meggy. Or I say was as well. I guess the show technically is over now. Like Meta Runner or SMG4 technically is over, so it was is the right term there. But one of the characters was Meggy from Splatoon. And I don't know if it was more of Luke's idea of like... Originally, it was just a full-on Inkling girl. Like, you can very look at it and like, oh, that's from Nintendo, Splatoon, and all that stuff. And from her at that time, I guess side tangent, Super Mario Logan, a plush channel that would use Mario, Bowser Jr., and like a lot of Mario characters. And if you know Super Mario Logan, they did a lot of very weird and out-of-pocket moments, such as Jeffy harming himself. I don't know if YouTube will like me repeating that, but parents saw this and saw, I think it was Junior or something in the thumbnail, and parents were like, This is not good. But why are we promoting this to children? So Nintendo stepped in and gave a lawsuit to Super Mario Logan for using Nintendo characters. I don't know if SMG4 ever got hit with that same thing of, hey, this is Mario, this is Nintendo, stop that. But I know there's a time in SMG4 where they're trying to slowly turn the characters they introduced into their own rendition or OCs, so they couldn't be like, oh yeah, this is us. We made this. Sure, it's based off of Splatoon, but Meggy is our own character, a human, not an Inkling, and stuff like that. So during this time in SMG4 lore or whatever, they made a whole show for Meggy, which was also on Glitch. I think it was Sunset Paradise. It was okay. Like, I don't think they would ever bring it back or anything, because like it was mainly a storyline for SMG4, kind of. It was just like an off-brand thing. But it was still more 3D animation that they were making, because I think they were also working on Meta Runner at the same time. I'm trying to remember the timeline here. But yeah, Sunset Paradise was pretty good. I also don't remember too much about it besides some of the characters that they introduced. But I don't think they ever took characters from Sunset Paradise and brought it over to SMG4 like they would do with Meta Runner, where they brought characters from Meta Runner over into SMG4 style. But again, it was getting them pretty decent views, and I imagine they're getting a lot of money from these animations, which I hope they were, because the animators doing a great, really, oh my god! The animators did a really good job on this, especially for it being the first couple years of being a company. And everyone, I feel like at this time, no one really well, it was getting views. It wasn't like a big thing of like, hey, did you watch the new Glitch upload? Like, it was mainly tied into SMG4. So if you weren't like a big SMG4 fan, I don't think you'd be watching these. Sure, Meta Runner is its like own thing. But the character Tari came from SMG4, I guess, first. I imagine Tari was designed for this show first, and SMG4 Luke wanted to introduce this new character to his audience and be like, hey, we're trying something new here. And then that's kind of the same thing with Meggy. Is like, hey, Meggy, we're gonna make a whole show. Honestly, I kept watching these, but I didn't really be like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be massive, until Murder Drones. I fucking love Murder Drones. This, like, alright, I gotta I gotta remember who made Murder Drones. I don't remember the guy's name. I may remember the channel. Liam. That's what Liam Vickers. At that time I also was watching Liam's work on YouTube. I love the oh my dude, I really should I probably should write notes before these things. I watched Liam's work with the Internicon, something like that, cube, because he made his own like 2D kind of like animated like pilots. It wasn't like full on animation. It was just kind of like very rough black and white, occasionally drawn art, which is cool. It was a huge inspiration for me at the time because the characters were cool. The story was good, and I was like, dang, this guy's been making stuff for this many years, and where'd it go? There's like nothing here no more. Especially Cliffside. That's what I was trying to think of. Cliffside was a pilot he did 7 or 8 years ago, and it was really good. I enjoyed it, and I was like, dang, I can't wait to see more from this guy. But Cliffside never really went anywhere, to my knowledge. Like the characters were really cool, and I was hoping he would make a whole like show or something like a whole full on show like that. But he never really went anywhere. So when I'm subscribed to Glitch, and out of nowhere I see a new trailer for a new show that they're doing, Murder Drones, and it looks different. It looks dark, and the 3D animation here is so shiny, and it looks great. And at the end, I find out it's from Liam. Like, oh my gosh, this is what I want Glitch to be. Working with artists that have proven that they can make something really good, but now has the budget from Glitch and the team behind it to make something really good. And when that first pilot came out, like, I think it got 83 million views, which is deserved. It is good. I don't know what I was going to say besides I love Murder Drones. Murder Drones is really good. So the pilot for Murder Drones came out, and I think they saw that, oh, people want this, which is good. I want that. Then they're like, all right, we will start working on a full season. And I was really excited for that. But while they were working on that, they had Meta Runner Season 3 to finish up. And honestly, I don't remember much about Season 3 besides the ending. And looking at the views here on their channel, most of people also didn't really care about Meta Runner's Season 3 anymore. Or like it was like getting down. Like, I don't think only the Season 1, Episode 1, and the finale broke 1 million views. Which kind of sucks. Like, they were making this huge story for them, and I feel like especially the animation department, like, I think it got better over time, because obviously they're like, know what they're doing at this point. I think the animation quality got a lot better, but no one was really watching at this point, which sucks. But the finale is pretty good. I still recommend Meta Runner to anyone who wants to watch it. But then, then we got Murder Drones, baby! I fucking love Murder Drones! Oh, Episode 2 came out, and I love all the animation that this team did for this. So good. The story was also very dark and something different, especially for me growing up. growing up. I say this is like 3 years ago. I love it. I love the story. I love the characters, especially all the designs of like N and Uzi. Damn, I couldn't remember her name, Phil. But I loved it, and I'm glad it was getting the attention put on Liam and Glitch for like the first time, kind of, because it started this community, and it was getting them like episode 2 was 42 million views, and everyone. I remember seeing reaction videos like, "Wow, this is actually like really good. Like Glitch is doing something different and like good out here." I also have to give props to Liam, the writer, like the person who made the story and all that stuff. I want more of Murder Drones. Like, even I feel it's like the same thing as Gravity Falls. I want more Gravity Falls and Murder Drones, but I respect their choice to only have a season, like end when the story's over. You didn't have like continuations of like until it got stale or something like that. They had a story set up from the beginning to end, and they ended it there. And I miss Murder Drones. Murder Drones was really good, but I might be biased because I watched Liam's stuff beforehand, and yeah. Oh shit! I ordered a Domino's pizza. It's gonna be here. Where's a good pizza? All right, after my fat ass ate a whole pizza, what was I talking about? All right, Murder Drones. So now with Meta Runner being done, we had 2 episodes of Murder Drones out, which were both really good. We got another teaser for another show. I don't remember if they like straight up said what the title was in this. Like, I think they did like a quote unquote new era video, and we see Pomni on it, which obviously we know who that is now. But it wouldn't be for another year until we got like a trailer for the Amazing Digital Circus, worked on by Gooseworks, who is another amazing artist. I've watched a couple other things before the Digital Circus, and they do some good stuff. This is where we get into the full-on, you are a massive company now. Congrats. The Amazing Digital Circus pilot, 432 million views. What? And so I'm going to be completely honest. I did not care for the pilot. I watched it and I thought, okay, like I like the animation you're doing here. I don't know about the story. I don't know how I feel about this yet. And I honestly didn't get into Digital Circus until like, what was it? The horror banner episode, which I think was episode 3. Because it got spooky first off, which I'm a big fan of horror, the spooky manner. But it started like we got to know the character. We're getting to know the characters more, and especially Kinger's the GOAT. I'm not gonna lie, Kinger the real one for real. So yeah, the Amazing Digital Circus it's massive. It is one, if not the biggest animated YouTube series, like indie YouTube series, I want to say. I don't even know if Has Been Hotel is, actually let me back up my information here. How many views did the Has Been Hotel pilot get? And I guess that is a whole nother. Oh yeah, that only got 122 million. Yeah. side tangent, I'm not a big fan of Has Been Hotel, mainly because of the people behind it, but that's a story for another day. So, yeah, at this time, Luke and Kevin brought on Gooseworks, and while they were working on The Amazing Digital Circus, they are also working on Murder Drones at the same time. I think that this time was sick to be a Glitch fan. Both shows in their own right are amazing. I'm more of a Murder Drones fan because I've actually bought merch for them. I haven't bought any Digital Circus merch. I suppose I should also bring up the merch. Glitch, well, I'll get into the whole dramas and whatnot in a little bit here. But one of the main criticisms I've seen from Glitch is the merch and how much they make and shove down your throat. But at the same time, I get it. They're a indie company doing these massive projects for just YouTube monetization, which obviously 400 million views, that's going to get you a lot, but I imagine they had the merch, like the original merch drop set up before the pilot. They didn't know if it was going to make get greenlit or like have the fan base for it. But yeah, they've continued to make merch over every episode, which I understand. They have a huge team now with all these animators, and honestly, I'm not against the merch. They gotta pay people, and of course, I don't work at Glitch. I don't know how much they get paid, but I'm hoping they're not like being thrown in a basement and getting paid scraps. But yeah. So we got Murder Drones mixed in with the Digital Circus here. They also threw in a couple of other like tinier things. Like in between episodes, they would make shorts or like short videos, not like YouTube shorts, just videos to promote the merch and what would be coming up. So while Digital Circus was in episode 2, we got the finale of Murder Drones, which was really good. I miss Murder Drones. But that's when we're like, so is it just going to be the Digital Circus now? And then they came out with a whole whether it was Glitch X or something like that. And they had a whole Nintendo Direct type thing to announce things, talk about what's going on, give a focus to indie animation, which is really cool. There's no big company out there that's really promoting indie like Glitch. And that's why I love it so much, is they're not just like making these massive projects and being like, yep, we got this, yep. They're helping others. All these tinier channels that take so much time to make what they love and have a drive for. And they're giving people the spotlight to show that off. And it's just really cool. Another thing is, during this Glitch X, they interviewed Olin Rogers. And I fucking love this dude. I guess another side tangent. Olin Rogers made a show, Final Space. And I love Final Space. I think it is a really good show. And then it got fucking canned because of stupid companies merging, and they didn't want to continue with his show, which meant his show couldn't be streamed anywhere else. I remember having to rewatch the episodes on a Google Drive link because you couldn't find it anywhere else. And even to this day, he's been writing a book a comic book to end the show, because it got ended, I want to say, like one season before his story would wrap up, and I feel bad for him. He spent all this time making this show just to have a bigger company be like, yeah, no, we don't want that. Get the fuck out. But we're keeping your rights though. You can't use him. Okay, maybe you get the rights for this book, and then that's it. We're gonna give you anything else. And Olin Rogers is now part of Glitch. Like, he's helping out these other teams with like merch and like being a kind of like a supervisor, which I think is really cool. Like, it's just, if you love or hate Glitch, you gotta love what they're doing for the animation community. They are stepping up and helping out people that have these big ideas that just need funding and people to help with that. I'll get into Lackadaisy in a little bit here, but that's another good example of Glitch helping out with getting them merch deals and all that stuff. Because merch does just give them more money to help them keep funding future episodes and stuff like that. So we kept getting some, after the whole Glitch X thing, we kept getting Digital Circus episodes. And then they announced a new project, Knights of Guinevere, which has a pilot so far. There's no, it's been greenlit, I think, by Glitch to continue working on it. But honestly, these next two projects that are coming up for Glitch, I am so excited to see. The Knights of Guinevere is made by Dana Terrace, who made The Owl House, and kind of like Olin Rogers, she was fucked over by Disney. Well, I mean, Olin Rogers wasn't part of Disney, but Disney fucked over Dana's vision of Owl House. Kind of like talking in my previous podcast episode or whatever. She kind of got pushed to the side and was like, "Hey, so your show, we're gonna give you like 4 episodes max for your finale, your final season," which she had a lot more ideas, to my knowledge, of stuff she wanted to get done, and like plot lines and stuff like that, but she had to cram everything in for a finale, and that's stupid. I don't know if it was just Disney not enjoying the whole LGBTQ stuff that was in the show, or if there's something behind the scenes, but I still find that pretty stupid. Owl House was a good show, and it deserved a better ending. So to see Dana, I don't know, then go to Glitch with a show that you can very, very tell that, or you can really easily tell that's kind of like the same animation style as Owl House, but this is like, even in the teaser, I was hooked. The gore, or like the dark themes in this thing, I'm excited to see where this goes, especially with the pilot. I really enjoyed the pilot. I like the characters, and I'm curious on where this is going to go. I was worried for a long time that this was not going to get as much love as Digital Circus, or even maybe get a pilot or like a full greenlit first season. But I'm glad that Glitch came out and like, yeah, no, we're continuing with this. We see the people who want this, and we are still going to make it. Because obviously, the Digital Circus is still massive. Every video or every episode is pretty much at 100 million views, and like comparing that to these other new pilots, they average around like the 10 mil mark. But I'm glad they're still getting the love that they deserve. At the same time of Knights of Guinevere, we got a trailer for the Gaslight District. And if I loved the Murder Drones animation, the Gaslight District is so unique with its animation. It just has its own style that I love. I don't, like, I'm not an animator. I don't know, like, how much work goes into these things. I'm guessing a lot, because they come out and said that the Gaslight District has been in the works behind the scenes for a very long time. In which I can tell the 3D animation here with its style is, I don't think I've seen. I don't think there's a show out there that you can compare it to with its animation style. It's just, it looks really good. I don't know what else I can say about that, but it's good. The story I'm also very intrigued on, and the whole, like, world that they're in. It's just, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's coming with this. So yeah, Gaslight District. That pilot came out. Then the Knights of Guinevere pilot also came out, while still being in between with Digital Circus. I'm glad the pilots both did pretty well. Like, Gaslight District got 23 mil. Knights of Guinevere 18 mil. So I'm glad people are loving just Glitch's like, projects here. I honestly didn't know the person behind the Gaslight District before, like, the pilot came out, but I'm excited for their work. It looks really good, especially stories and all that stuff. So now, while we're just in the middle of, like, we have pilots, and they have, like, there's no episode, like episode 2 or episode, like, there's no seasons going on for it right now. It's just kind of in that limbo of they're doing a lot of hard work on the animation currently to then release a full season and whatnot. So I think I will talk about the more disappointing side of the Digital Circus fandom. So, of course, if you have something this popular, there's going to be some bad apples, and some, I mean a lot. There's going to be a lot of bad apples out there, especially with the internet these days. Anything you say, even if it's like a decade ago, will be taken out of context, or just taken and be like, yo, you can't say that. Which, I don't think Luke or Kevin, or like SMG4 or Glitch, have gotten into that big of drama that it's been like, we need to cancel them. But there has been their fair share of like, backlash. Like, I think SMG4 had, for a bit, they didn't let one of their voice actors know that they're being changed, which again, I don't know any information on this. This is just from what I remember. So again, take it with a grain of salt. That one of the voice actors was being changed and didn't know until last minute, which I feel like is pretty shitty, especially with voice acting these days, and I feel like it's kind of hard to get into an industry like this. But again, I don't know. I'm an engineer. I don't know. But other than that, like, they've had some backlash with the merch. Like I said, there's been a couple instances of the voice actors saying some things on Twitter and whatnot. Nothing that's been like, yeah, no, get the hell out of here. Honestly, I've been wanting to talk about Glitch for a while. And in these last couple of weeks has been the most drama-filled weeks for Glitch I've ever seen. So with the Digital Circus finale, they announced that it's going to be in theaters. Like, some theaters will show episode 7, 8, and the finale together in a theater, which I think is really cool. I have now seen drama that some theaters that were in talks with getting this shown for a limited release then got nothing back from Glitch and was kind of like blue-balled and then suddenly told, yeah, we're not going to view at this theater. And again, I don't know everything that's going on behind the scenes. I don't think this is a hate Luke and Kevin for what they're doing. I want to believe it is an issue with Netflix or something like that, because the Digital Circus and Murder Drones, I believe, are both on Netflix. It got that popular that Netflix was like, hey, we will show your stuff on Netflix, which again is massive for indie. But it's just like it brings more drama that people will latch onto in a bad way, because obviously people love drama these days and will take anything that apparently is going on and exaggerate it. So I don't know what's going on with the theatering issues, but I'm not going to go watch this in theaters. I don't want to have like some kid behind me like, oh my god, this mommy! Every 20 seconds. Like, that is just the fandom I think the Digital Circus has, which, yeah, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. I can't control what you watch. But I'll definitely just be waiting the extra 3 weeks or whatever it is to watch it once it comes out on YouTube. Which is another thing. People are like, why are you going to go pay money to watch it early when you can just wait for it to come out on YouTube for free? And I still think it's a cool thing. You can go and talk to people who are part of this community in a theater watching something you all enjoy. But I don't know. Other than that, there's been a huge drama with some of the voice actors playing Jackbox, and one of them said NEGA. I'm not going to say here because I don't know, Twitter could cancel me for it, which, it's a word. It's part of Sonic with Eggman blank. I'm just going to say blank, even though it's not a... Yes, it sounds very close to a very bad word, but it's not the word. And people took that and were like, whoa, you can't be saying that. Which the voice actors did come out and apologize for. Which then it got pushed even further at one of the events that Glitch was holding as just promotion for Glitch and whatnot. Where we had Mr. Hey, I like to destroy my consoles for content just start straight up saying that word over and over and over again. And that's just not called for. It was a very stupid move by him, Plain Rock or whatever his name is. I watched his content I don't know, half a decade ago. Because his whole thing was, yeah, I'm going to buy the new console and destroy it. And I haven't heard anything from him in years until he did this stunt, which was really stupid. But I gotta give props to Glitch, because they on Twitter just like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. We don't want you here. And that's like, I also feel bad for Gooseworks, because she gets attacked a bunch because the fandom is just so massive. Like, she gets attacked for why would you write this character that way? Why would you make that happen? And It's not needed. Just watch the show and enjoy it. I guess that's what happens when you get like a huge fandom. It's like you're gonna have people who are like this, but I feel like I feel like 80% of the fandom is good people who just enjoy it and like the content. Like I see people with cosplays whenever we go out to conventions, and like the convention we went out to last year and whatnot. Like, well, those people are chill. And there's another side that just like sends death threats and tries to make drama out of nothing. I don't know. It's just a mess. But I hope we're at a point where it will simmer down. Watch, I say this, and then next week something other big, massive event is gonna happen or something. But all right, past Digital Circus, the newest episodes are pretty good. I'm excited for the finale. Episode 8, honestly, is probably my favorite episode. Just Kane is really funny. I like Kane. Wait a minute. Where's Kinger? Just all the voice actors, honestly, in these shows do a really good job. Like, I got to meet the voice actor of Gangle a year ago. Hey, future editing me, put a picture up if you can find it. And I'm gonna laugh at my sister because I got to meet your favorite character. But I honestly wish I could have talked to the voice actor more and be like, "You do a really good job." That's the first time I've ever met like someone like a voice actor like that, and I was like, hey, "Yeah, okay, can I get a picture? Okay, thank you." That was just an awkward mess. All right, in the new like the newest stuff that Glitch is working on is they're also helping promote other channels like Lackadaisy, which is really cool to see. Lackadaisy is another huge indie show that's going on YouTube, and it's like during the jeez, what's the word? Alcohol was banned. Prohibition. Me know my history. Yeah, prohibition. So it's like speakeasy, which is I think a really cool premise to go on. But they're helping. They're not like taking them in to then like steal their content and not like steal, take their content and put it on Glitch's channel. They're just giving money and helping out them with merch production and getting help with animators and paying the like helping pay the animators and all that stuff, which I think is cool. This like everything I hear with Glitch is with like reaching out to these smaller creators or like the smaller projects is good. Like I've heard a lot of comparisons with Glitch versus Disney, which I feel like first that's a huge gap or like a huge difference there. But Glitch does feel like this massive company that's help like reaching out looking for these talents, these amazing shows that people are putting effort into and actually letting them like grow and get a fan base. And that's just cool. I know I've said this over and over in this episode, but I can't get over it enough. And as I'm saying this, within a week, another new pilot is going to be coming out. Game Overs, made by Rubber Ross, which I love Rubber Ross. And I'm excited because Game Overs apparently was made apparently a show that he wanted to make years ago, and for him to now get the chance to make this, I'm excited to see what the pilot has. It also has a bunch of other voice actors from Game Grumps and Jay Schlatt, of all things. I never thought Jay Schlatt would be in a Glitch production show, but here we go. And of course, since Game Overs, I don't know if I said that or not. It's going off of like, I don't really know much of Game Overs when it, like, the original idea, but it's like games that ended up like breaking or something like that. I don't know. I'm going off of the trailer or teaser here. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. But I did hear, like, I have a lot of people hate, like, be like, that's just the PB virus, and like I side tangent again. Learning with Adventures with Pibby, or whatever that Learning with Pibby, I think should have been greenlit. I think it would have been a good show, but now when it's like any type of like virus in like a kid's like game or show, I hate how everyone's like, you took that idea from them, in which, no, it's not like a copyrighted idea. Rubber Ross has been working on this show for a very, very long time, or had this idea in his mind for a long time. And I think there is like a very old show or like an episode on his channel talking about it, or like, just, I don't know. But I'm excited to see it, and it's again another great show that Glitch will be working on. And I know there's some drama going on with it. I don't know what that drama entails. I clicked on the trailer to like get some thoughts here, and the third video recommended is Glitches and Drama again. The Game Over situation is crazy. Like, I don't give a shit. I want to watch cool shows. But that brings us to, yeah, the latest of Glitch. And I feel like Glitch in the years to come will have all these huge shows that they will continue to help fund and work with. And I mean, Knights of Guinevere, like they might have 3 shows coming out all at once, which would be good to see. Knights of Guinevere, Game Oververse, and the Gaslight District, I think, are amazing shows that I'm looking forward to, especially with the ending of Digital Circus coming up soon. But yeah, I think that's most of what I wanted to talk about. I guess Luke and Kevin, the people behind it, I doubt you guys will ever see this, but you guys do an amazing job. I love what you're doing. With Luke ending SMG4, the end of last year as well, makes me think he's just gonna go into working on Glitch full time, or taking at least the team from SMG4 or into Glitch, which I think will be good. Then again, I don't know. It could be a whole separate thing, because there was people working in Gmod, and now this is just like straight up animation. But I don't know. With the ending of SMG4, it was sad to see it go, but I am excited to see what the future has for these two brothers. So yeah, this has been Chyte Chats, and thank you for watching.